Fortnite Chapter 4, Season 3, Fortnite Wilds. Epic Games has unveiled the next season of Fortnite, dubbed Fortnite Wilds. The announcement was made during Summer Game Fest 2023. The trailer gives us a good look at the new things that will be coming to Fortnite, which includes the addition of dinosaurs as mounts, and an evolution of the rail grinding system that first made its debut in Fortnite in an earlier update. The trailer also shows off new character skins coming to the game, which is headlined by the arrival of the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime. The theme for the newest trailer seems to revolve around an untamed wilderness where players will duke it out in the game's popular Battle Royale game mode. The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. Developer Free Range Games and publisher North Beach Games have released a new trailer for co-op survival crafting game The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. The studio has announced plans to bring the game to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S simultaneously with its fall 2023 PC release. The trailer shows off a bit of the gameplay that players can expect from the title. The trailer featured the PC version of the game and showcased dwarves digging into the titular mines of Moria. Gameplay in The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria will revolve around exploring Moria and finding resources to craft equipment and build structures. Players will be able to forge more powerful weapons and armors as they progress throughout the game. The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria also features a comprehensive dwarf builder, allowing players to customize their own dwarven identity in the world of Middle-earth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth launches in early 2024. Final Fantasy VII finally received a new trailer at the Summer Game Fest following numerous tweets from the development team. It showcased the wide-open world outside Midgar, with Red 13 playable and Yuffie Kisaragi joining the team. There's also more Sephiroth, who reveals that Tifa died several years ago. So who is the current Tifa? Of course, there's plenty of new gameplay with new enemies and some interesting new team-up attacks. The visuals are quite staggering, whether players are exploring a wide-open field with plant life or eyeing massive industrial structures from a distance. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth launches in early 2024 for PS5 and will ship on 2 discs, which could make it the biggest current-gen game yet. Under the Waves. Developer Parallel Studio and publisher Quantic Dream have released a new trailer for upcoming ocean exploration game Under the Waves. The trailer shows off a bit of gameplay as well as an August 29th release date. Under the Waves was first unveiled back in August last year. It will feature a sci-fi story that takes place in a futuristic version of the 1970s. Players are put into the shoes of professional diver Stan, who is trying to overcome a recent tragedy in his life. In the past, Quantic Dream has described the game as a love letter to the ocean. Players will be able to explore its underwater setting with cinematic visuals and storytelling. Gameplay will revolve around collecting material to craft equipment, which will in turn allow Stan to navigate further into the depths of the game's ocean. The only company Stan will have in his journey is his own mind. Under the Waves is slated for release on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Immortals of AVEUM, new gameplay trailer. As previously confirmed, EA and Ascendant Studios' single-player magic shooter, Immortals of AVEUM, took the stage at the recent Summer Game Fest with a new trailer and gameplay showing, and it's continuing to look like an intriguing prospect, as it has done with most of its showings so far. The gameplay demonstration showcases sections of the game that sees the protagonist Jack and the titular Immortals launching an attack on one of Sandrax, the antagonist's bases in the middle of an ocean, which is essentially a mech or a colossal as it is called in this game. The players make their way through the structure's interior and exteriors, taking on a variety of enemies in adrenaline-fueled combat encounters where the game's flashy magical combat is on full display. Black Desert: Land of the Morning Light. If you're among the many players who are invested in Black Desert's offerings, soon it'll be bringing more for you to dive into. Recently at Summer Game Fest, Pearl Abyss unveiled Black Desert's next expansion. Titled Land of the Morning Light, the expansion will bring to the table a variety of new boss monsters to take on. Inspired by folklore, these monsters will include a massive snake-like creature, a large and terrifying tiger, and even a few of the supernatural variety. Black Desert: Land of the Morning Light is due out less than a week from now on June 14th. Toxic Commando. Developer Saber Interactive and publisher Focus Entertainment have announced a new game titled John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. The game will be a co-op shooter inspired quite heavily by action and horror movies of the 80s. While not too many details about John Carpenter's Toxic Commando have been revealed, the trailer does give us quite a good look at the game's tone, setting, and even some gameplay. Going by the trailer, the title won't be taking itself too seriously and will instead focus on providing players with hordes of enemies to gun down. The trailer also indicates that the game will feature vehicular combat, and goes as far as showing off how gunplay works while riding on a vehicle. The trailer also gave us glimpses of other gameplay features, like using a vehicle to tow another vehicle that might be stuck in a ditch. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 launches October 20th. At the recent PlayStation Showcase, Insomniac Games showed off an extensive gameplay reveal for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And though a release date wasn't confirmed, the developer said promptly afterward that more details on that front would be coming soon. Soon has turned out to be sooner than expected because a launch date has been announced for the title. At Summer Game Fest, creative director Brian Intihar took this stage and announced that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be out on October 20th, which means it's hitting its fall launch window as expected. Meanwhile, Intihar also brought 2 new pieces of concept art showcasing 2 of the game's primary villains, Kraven the Hunter and Venom, both of whom we saw in the recent gameplay trailer. Intihar also confirmed that there are many more villains in the game that we don't know about yet, while he has also said that Venom in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is not Eddie Brock. Who exactly is he then? We'll find out in the game itself. The key art for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has also been revealed, and prominently features both Peter Parker and Miles Morales, both of whom are, of course, going to be the playable protagonists of the game. Alan Wake 2 Uncut Gameplay. Remedy Entertainment's Sam Lake took the stage at the Summer Game Fest showcase for extended gameplay of Alan Wake 2. The survival horror title focused on 2 playable characters, the returning Alan Wake and newcomer Saga Anderson, an FBI agent. It started out with the latter outside of Bright Falls at Cauldron Lake to investigate a murder victim resurrected as a monster. Along with a flashlight, Saga has a service pistol for attacking. Upon investigating an abandoned building, a different foe emerges wielding an axe. She can dodge, which makes survival somewhat easier, and focus her flashlight on parts of the environment for clues. While Wake seeks to escape the dark place, Saga investigates ritualistic murders in Bright Falls before becoming entangled in a new nightmare. While the player can switch between Saga and Alan at different points, you can stick to a singular character till the end. Alan Wake 2 launches on October 17th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via the Epic Games Store. Lies of P launches on September 19th. There's been no shortage of anticipation around Lies of P ever since its announcement. It has, of course, helped massively that the game seems to be taking heavy cues from Bloodborne, while its impressive gameplay showings have also added fuel to the fire. As promised, the game recently also showed up at Summer Game Fest with a new trailer, offering yet another look at its gothic take on the setting and story of Pinocchio. Lies of P continues to look promising in its newest trailer, which showcased several glimpses of combat, various enemies, a variety of weapons, some gorgeous locations, and more. Meanwhile, a specific launch date has also been announced. Previously set to launch in August, the action RPG has been delayed and, as was recently leaked, is now set to launch for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on September 19th. A free demo of the game is also available on all platforms. Sonic Superstars. Sega has announced a new Sonic game, titled Sonic Superstars. The game is primarily a 2D side-scrolling platformer. Its trailer showed off some levels as well as a host of other gameplay features. Going by the trailer, Sonic Superstars will feature co-op for up to 4 players, and will allow players to pick their favorite characters to play as, with the roster including Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy. Sonic Superstars also seems to feature a host of bonus levels and minigames, including levels inspired by classic Sonic games, as well as newer takes on its bonus levels. Players will also be able to unlock new abilities for the characters to use as they platform through its various levels. In the game, players will be able to turn into a jellyfish to navigate water levels, and even unlock the ability to walk on structures in the game's backgrounds. Sonic Superstars is out this fall for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Witchfire Early Access. After over 5 years since its first announcement at the Game Awards, the Astronauts Witchfire is finally entering early access on September 20th. It will be available for PC via the Epic Games Store. The first-person shooter sees the player battling witches using firearms and magic. As a roguelite shooter with a semi-open world, players can unlock attunements on weapons as they use them, like gaining stronger bullets on reload with critical hits while using the Hunger hand cannon. Of course, there are light and heavy spells spread across the 4th elements: fire, water, earth, and air. Each has unique properties and can interact in fun ways, like fire damage chaining to nearby targets afflicted by air magic. It looks pretty smooth and should appeal to fans of fast-paced first-person shooters like Bulletstorm. Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay debuts. NetherRealm Studios finally showcased gameplay for Mortal Kombat 1 after announcing its release later this year. The footage kicked off with Kung Lao and Sub-Zero fighting, showcasing some of the fast-paced combat. They're soon interrupted by Liu Kang, who's gathering the champions for some purpose. We then cut to Johnny Cage and Kenshi battling it out before Liu Kang intervenes again. Liu Kang can be seen tutoring a young Raiden, who electrocutes a hole through an opponent, and we see Kitana fighting Mileena. However, the most interesting mechanic is the Cameo Fighter, which joins your main fighter. Cameo Fighters showcase Jax, Sonya Blade, Goro, and Stryker. You can essentially call them out during battles, gaining support attacks. Pressing different directions with the summon button will execute different attacks from a Cameo Fighter. They have a meter, so there's no constant spamming. Some of the main roster fighters can even act as Cameo Fighters, so you can have Sub-Zero with Sub-Zero. EXOPRIMAL x Street Fighter 6 collaboration. At Summer Game Fest, it was confirmed that the first collaboration event for EXOPRIMAL following its release will be with the recently released Street Fighter 6. The event will see cosmetics and customization options for Street Fighter 6 characters, Ryu and Guile, coming to the online dinosaur shooter this fall. EXOPRIMAL is set to launch on July 14th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It will also be available day one via Xbox Game Pass. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.